Yo, what up? Is your boy Soulo, and now we're back here again with another episode. And today's gonna be about the physical dream, aka the physical reality that we live in today, the existence, and and based on the norm understanding of how reality is, based on how society think it is. People have been indoctrinated. People are clinged into science, religion, and even some percentage level of people allowing themselves to be in their own belief system and imaginations, even if they don't believe in science or religion. It's still a form of lostness, but grace is given to individuals who can have their own mind in some way, shape, or form that leads into their own individuality and spirituality. So first things most, we are spiritual beings creating this physical reality. So if you pay attention to what we're doing, to what organisms are doing, to what things that are alive, we have two main components that's active, that we are utilizing to just navigate through reality, becoming aware and just taking action. And these two main components are our thoughts, our mentalities, ideas, visions is the same thing, and our emotions, the way we feel, our soul, the vibrations, how we take in, how we react towards what we see. And these are the two main components, the mentality and our emotions, which is a soul. It's all the same thing. So with the English words, there's so many definitions and languages, but if you're stuck in these words, you can be limited by your perception of how you understand existence. And these words can limit your perception. So and if you're individual, most people think life cannot be understood, and they just become stagnated. I wouldn't say stagnated, but that too. But people just become brainwashed, and they accept the reality that they're in. So, and that reality can be how we learned from the system, how we build ourselves to be who we are according to what we learned from the system, based on the limited education, the limitations of religion, and all sorts of religion. Science is a form of religion, and science is utilized by pure logic, and with that logic, you use your imaginations of how you interpret that logic, and you make it make sense through how you see reality. And science coming up with theories and hypotheses of how things are in reality, which is going to make sense because you're seeing it for yourself, but you're not understanding the spirituality of it and the essence of it, which is how we utilize our thoughts and feelings to create our reality. So everything in science, they say everything has atoms, and atoms consist of protons, electrons, neutrons, and shit like that. And protons is a positive charge, which is the masculine energy. The masculine energy is a mentality, and the negative charges, which is electrons, is the feminine energies, which is the emotions, the internal, the subtractions of it. Proton is what you're positive, is adding on. Electrons is negative, is subtracting. And when you understand spirituality, masculine is adding on with the mentalities. What we do with our mind is we're always thinking, we're always coming up with ideas, we're always producing some type of substance with our mind, our visions, which is a fluid. Our mind is a fluid. Our mind is like a frequency. We develop ideas and concepts, and this is what the spirit is doing. It's externalizing. It's creating events and circumstances in what the spirit can jump into, and when we jump into that, we internalize that. It becomes heavy and dense, and that will be the feminine counterpart of what we're doing as spirits. So as a spirit, your spirit is coming into existence to be conscious. Not coming into existence, but it's accumulating existence from how we externalize based on our spirit's awareness. So when we see how the world is, we have humans, we have animals, we have, all these creatures, plants. These organisms are spirits navigating through their own astral travel based on their own awareness of how they're coming to be based on evolution. So we as we are all I forgot that word. We're all damn, I forgot that word. Let me think. We're all synchronizing not the word, but we're all, based on, how we are evolving. This is, what we're in right now, damn, I forgot that word. Yeah, this is what we're resonating with at the moment. So how everything is how everything is resonating with, and it is what it is because it's how we are creating our reality. So all spirits who are humans, organisms and shit like that, this is what we're resonating with, like as spirits. And your spirit is nothing becoming something. So if we see physical reality right now, then it has to come from nothing to become something. So when you're in a space and you're always cluttered up, you always want to free yourself mentally and emotionally, and you have that's a lot of baggage for your spirit, and you'll do whatever it takes for you to be free again. And that's trying to be free again, mentally free, emotionally free. And this is just the spirit, trying to get out of things, and sometimes getting into something new so you can feel new things and experience new things. So this is where the concept of the spirit being no thing is nothing, literally, but it's still something in that realm. It's just the way people think nothing is. It has nothing to do with how people think it is. To be in the presence of nothing is to, meditate and to get out of clutterness, not having to think so much and not having to feel so much, and just understand what your mentalities is doing, what your emotions is doing. And these are the two main components that's creating reality that we see with our external eyes, with our physical eyes. And there's a lot of accumulation and blueprints as as we evolve to become this way. And you know, when you're limited by science and all these things, they're using your power for their limitation of how they see reality. So, and that goes with religion too. You're using your own divine tools, your mentalities, and your emotions to have faith on a God you think that's outside of you, when God is. You have to know thyself to understand how God is really working. God is really no thing becoming something, and the spirit is no thing, which it developed a mind, and that mind jumped into a vision or an idea, which is internalizing that idea. And when you internalize that idea, it becomes you feel it, you have it becomes part of your physicality, your blood flow. When you think of something, you like that idea of something, whatever it is, and you internalize that idea. You feel it like it's part of your physicality, your body. And that's what the spirit is doing. It's just accumulating those visions, those ideas. And this is how we grow and evolve and become bigger, like adults type shit. Babies becoming adults and shit like that. This is just what the spirit is doing. Like, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So the spirit is nothing becoming something. The spirit developed a mind, an idea, based on how the spirit is expanded and aware. It will develop that mindset to be whatever species it is. And that idea, it jumps into the idea and it becomes dense and heavy, which is the vibrations, the emotions, and those vibrations accumulate and become physical. It's a fluid. Everything is a fluid. You gotta see life as a fluid becoming dense. So dream, this physical reality is a dream becoming dense. The same way you go to sleep and have dreams, we are creating realities in our dreams that hasn't become physical yet, but it's still adding on to this physical reality. And this is what everybody is doing. We're adding on to this physical dream. And a lot of people are not aware of this spirituality, and this is how we got lost here in this density. And religious people think they're gonna go to heaven, or people go to hell, when in reality, whatever your mind is stuck in, if you're not freeing yourself from what you think is real, then you're gonna stay stuck in that and what you resonate with. So if all you resonate with, if all you know is this physical reality, the routine, the same routines that you go by, working 9 to 5, getting jobs and shit like that, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just how we do it. If all you know is the activities of this physical reality, like getting lost in sports, getting lost in video games, getting lost in the lust of this world, that's all your spirit resonate with. Your spirit resonates with that density, and you're not trying to expand from this physical stimuli. And this is why it's important to know these things, so we can free ourselves and become lighter, and just create more fruitful expansions of reality. Like, this shit could be really beautiful if people just get into spirituality and astrology and shit like that, like native astrology, understanding ourselves more, getting into meditation. Shout out to Dola the Pilot Man, Archangel Uriel. He's a true native. But yeah, this is a physical dream that spirits got lost in, based on, you know, the colonizers colonizing the natives and implementing what they what they wanted, because they were lost. They were greedy. They were, you know, barbarians, and, you know, all they want to do is conquer and, you know, implement what they think was real. And, you know, what they think was real is not actually how reality works. Becoming too logical, aka left brain, is not, you know, spiritually healthy. We have to become, you know, more right brain and open up our imaginations, our creativity. You know, like I said, getting into meditation, getting into astral projecting is deep. Is way deeper than just astral projecting, because we're already astral projecting. But, you know, to make it simple, we have to know thyself. We shouldn't get lost in other people's or other systems' programs just because, you know, it might fit our agenda, you know, to get money or something, because it's deeper than money. The whole reason this whole world is fucked up is because people are lost in their own minds. People are lost in indoctrinations. People are lost in money. They don't, like I said, all these things are physical, external representations of what we are creating within us. And, you know, people don't know what their inner components are. Like I said, the mind and the emotions, the ability to externalize and internalize and create our reality from within, which is playing out externally. We're all pushing out all this, you know, fluid from within, outside of us. And this is how we create earth, you know, fire, wind, fire, water, earth, wind and earth, air and earth. I said that shit backwards, but you get the point. So, you know, it's good. People need to start learning this shit for real. So, let me see if I had another point. But, you know, anyways, like I said, you know, people need to get out of their egos. People need to stop being narcissists, because we're all here for a reason. We all need to become relatable and understand why we're here. Once you open yourself up to those ideas, how you externalize and how you internalize those ideas, those imaginations, those visions, then you're opening yourself up to the universe. So you know, because the universe has already expanded. We are spirits living within a spirit. So if the universe has already expanded, that means it already experienced what everything has experienced on a, you know, what we experienced. God has already experienced what we experienced. So to understand God's experience, the overall spirit that has become physical, how we made it to be this world, this reality, we have to open up ourselves and, you know, go within and stop being so physical and become lighter. You know, meditate and ponder on self-belief and how you can achieve higher enlightenment. And, you know, and this deals with, you know, getting into more imaginations, more creativity, expanding your awareness. You know, that would be Jupiter, expansions of your mental. And, you know, that's all. You know, people just need to stop being retarded. You know, get into spirituality. That's the true way you become connected with nature. That's the true way you become connected with yourself, and, you know, be happy. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Peace.